The Colts beat the Falcons 31-25 in overtime in Germany, and it was a record-breaking day for running back Jonathan Taylor. He just kept running. Colts Daybreak contributor Heather Lloyd is here with us, sparkling away with her victory blazer, and we're glad that you have it on yet again. We really needed this win.
The Colts really did. I mean, they're now 8-2, but they had a lot of fans worried yesterday, and I'm not going to lie, I was one of them. I really believed that they would pull this off, though, and they could not have done it without the best running back in the NFL, and now the best running back in Colts history. A 3-touchdown game is a career day for any NFL player, but it's just another day at the office for Jonathan Taylor. This one just happened to put him in the record books. Taylor had 32 carries for 244 yards and 3 touchdowns, but it was a career-long and franchise-long 83-yard touchdown run that cemented him in Colts history. I thought he was dead at the Colts 20-yard line on that play, and he just kept going. But with his 65th rushing touchdown, Jonathan Taylor surpassed Edgerrin James for most rushing touchdowns in franchise history. Then he padded it with another one in overtime. This is his 5th game this season with 3 touchdowns. And the MVP chants will only get louder from here.
I love Jonathan Taylor, but I played him in fantasy this week.
Oh, you had to play against him?
I played him in fantasy. I was like,
you don't
this is
want to face
unbelievable.
up against him.
I do have Tyler Warren, and he continues.
I'm glad you still have him somewhere in your life. Right?
Somewhere in my life. Always hold a place in my heart.
Yeah, you know, Warren's stats will not jump off the page this, this game, but it's where and when he made those plays. Warren had 8 receptions for 99 yards, but he lined up at tight end, fullback, and even quarterback on Sunday, handing the ball off to Jonathan Taylor. When Daniel Jones really needs a play, Warren came up time and time again. You know, when you get in tight games like this and you just need to tough it out, Warren is like a Swiss Army knife in your pocket. You pull it out, use it for whatever need you have, and live to fight a few more downs. And he just perfectly on display again. I mean, he's probably the best tight end in the NFL at this point in his young career, which is just amazing to say.
Incredible. I love it. Watched a lot of the game, more than usual, because it was a little bit earlier in the day.
Yes.
But I was so excited. One of the defensive guys almost got a pick, and it was very exciting. And of course, after heading into the this blockbuster trade, we got some new faces on the defense.
Yes, it was very exciting. So with a rash of injuries, the Colts found themselves desperately in need of a playmaker on defense. We heard they were in the market for a cornerback, and they announced a deal with the Jets to bring in one of the best young corners in the NFL. Sauce Gardner hopped on a plane to Indy last week, then jumped on a plane to Berlin. He had already played in London this season, so this was his 2nd international game of the year. Gardner made his presence known immediately. I was so close, wasn't it? I wanted that so bad, maybe worse than him.
Yeah.
He was covering star receiver Drake London for most of the day and holding him to 6 receptions for 104 yards and 1 touchdown. You know what I love most about this trade? For many years now, it felt like the fans were doing their part, but the Colts weren't necessarily doing everything in their power to put the best team on the field. You can't say that now.
Right.
They needed help at quarterback. They brought in Daniel Jones. The Colts needed help on defense. They brought in Sauce Gardner. It's like they're finally using all the avenues available to them. It's been reported that Chris Ballard was questioning sending 2 first-round picks and A.D. Mitchell to the Jets, and owner and CEO Carly Ursay-Gordon said, "Do you want to put a Band-Aid on it or fix it for good?"
Yes.
And then she went to Berlin and bought drinks for everyone in the pub. So, I mean, exactly. The ladies are getting it done.
Yes.
I love it.
Well, I love they have just been going wild on social media too for owning, being on the side of the field.
And they're so embraced right now.
Yeah.
I love how they're being embraced in the NFL right now. It's fantastic to see.
I'm here for it. I don't want to bring up issues, but do we have a kicking problem?
You know, the Colts have a few issues that are kind of cropping up now. You know, special teams had a real up and down day yesterday. They had some great returns. They also had some big penalties. Michael Badgley made field goals from 34 and 44 yards. Then he missed a 53-yard. He was short. He also mixed an extra point. You know, when Badgley is on, his nickname is the Money Badger.
Yeah.
But early in the game, when he had missed the kick and the extra points, I got a tweet calling him the Broke Badger. So we're not going to panic yet, but this is definitely something to keep our eye on. Also, we need to keep our eye on the O-line. This is not the O-line that we started the season with. Are they banged up?
Yeah.
Are they tired? Are they facing better defenses? It could be all the above, by the way, but they've got some time here now to get some things worked out, and they're definitely going to need to do that. So.
And we were just talking about it a second ago. Very weird. The Colts are on the 1 seed, and the Chiefs and the Bills aren't winning their division.
Yes.
You gotta love this. I mean, things are set up really well for them. They are back now as the #1 seed in the AFC, which is fantastic. Who in the world would have thought they would go into the bye week sitting at 8-2? But here they are. Next up for the Colts, a well-deserved bye week. Then come back and prepare for their biggest challenge yet, a trip to Kansas City to face the Chiefs. As you can see, they are still 2 games ahead of the Jaguars. The Jaguars already had their bye week, by the way, so it looks like 3 games, but they're really up 2 games on the Jags. Great position. But yeah, they've got a 2 weeks now here to work some things out, prepare to face the Chiefs. Much needed rest. You know, there's some injuries. My bye week assignment is to get my outside lights hung.
Oh, yes.
On whatever day you tell me I should do that. So that's my that's my on my to-do list for the bye week. But yeah, it's much needed. Good timing for them, and we'll see. The hardest stretch of the season coming up after this. Get healthy in all the places you possibly can. Maybe get a game plan together for get the O-line back to again how we saw them earlier this season.
I think it can only do good things that we're going into the bye week. They get a little bit of rest, and we're just running on, like, let's keep the wins going.
Yes,
So,
exactly.